What's going on, everyone? Josh Rzepka here, and welcome back to another Mute Monday. Today I am very excited because I've got these two mutes from Soulo Mute, the copper bottom and the all aluminum Harmon Style Mute. And furthermore, I'm going to be doing things a little bit different today than I've ever done in any one of these videos. If you've noticed, this is a live premiere, and as soon as this video is finished, I'm going to be going live on this channel in order to demo these mutes even more, answer your questions. Plus, Mike Giroux of Soulo Mute is going to be joining me, so it's going to be a great hang. Now, if you're watching this video after the fact, I'm going to be linking that video right above, so you can check that out once this entire review video is done. Now, starting off, let's check out this all aluminum version. This is the newest one. It just came out a couple months ago. I picked this up at the ITG conference. Now, let's look at it up close. As you can see, this is a beautifully made mute. It is all aluminum, and it's got that black polycarbonate stem, really very nice, and it stays in place, and it plays great. I'm going to demo this mute with this stem in as well as the stem out. Additionally, both of these mutes come with this little plastic piece right here. This is a small clear plastic insert, and this is called the dual purpose insert, and I'm going to explain what this is all about in just a few minutes. Now, let's check out this copper bottom mute up close. As you can see, this is a beautiful mute. I really love the two-tone of the copper and the aluminum, and of course that really impacts the way that this mute plays, which you will hear in just a minute. And of course this mute comes with that black polycarbonate stem as well as that clear dual-purpose insert. Now, I keep mentioning this little plastic piece, the dual-purpose insert, and what is it? What does it do? Well, you put it inside the mute, and it changes how it sounds and how it plays. The biggest thing that you're going to notice is that your low G's and low F sharps, they are really going to be locked in so much better with this little insert, and it does change the sound and the response and everything, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video, but you're going to hear it first. You're going to hear the difference between the open Harmon, the dual purpose insert, as well as having the stem inside. I'm going to be demonstrating the aluminum and the copper mute in all three of those permutations, as well as playing both of these mutes with a clip-on microphone with a dry signal, as well as a signal that I've done some EQ and some reverb. That's how I would use it on a gig. So I really want to make sure that you can hear it in all these different ways and, you know, understand how is this mute gonna work for you if this is something you pick up. So without any further introduction, let's hear how these mutes sound. All right, so you've just heard the all aluminum and the copper bottom Soulo brand Harmon Style Mute. And what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Really interested to know your thoughts and what you heard. Now, I really enjoyed playing these mutes, and the sound, the evenness, the response, the articulation, the intonation from low to high, really just terrific for both of these mutes. I was very impressed. And what impressed me even more was how much of a difference this little dual purpose insert makes. When you put that in, I'm sure all of you could hear how much of a difference it made for the sound, the projection, the articulation, and most importantly, that low G and low F sharp. That's a squirrely note for practically every Harmon mute that's out there. Some Harmon mutes, they do it better than others, but generally speaking, that is a really tricky note for a Harmon mute to really get dialed in. And this little insert, it really fixes that. The low G, the low F sharp, and it really helps to focus the sound, the articulation, and I feel like the projection is a little bit more forward. So with all that in mind, this little dual purpose insert, I would really say that, you know, if you're playing solo, take it out. If you are playing a jazz solo, you're recording something, take it out. If you are playing in a section, in an ensemble, and you know you want to really have that articulation that's pointed, and to be able to really just lock in as a section, man, put that little insert in, and to me that just makes this mute even more nimble and, you know, perfectly suited for ensemble playing. Now with the plunger in with the stem, of course you heard, you know, it works great. I don't really use that very much, so generally speaking, that does not stay in my Harmon mutes. But I gotta say, really very impressed with the sound out of this all aluminum Harmon Style Mute. And in the demonstration where I played with the clip-on mic, I think you could hear how great that mute sounds. I personally really like the balance of the sound, the tonal colors, you know, everything that I was getting out of it. With that close mic, the aluminum one, that's my go-to. Now, the copper bottom one, this is the one that's been out already for years. So many people use this and they love it. And as you could hear, this is a fantastic sounding mute. Sounds really great. It's got a nice chord to it, a nice sound. For me, this is a mute that I would probably choose in more ensemble settings. It's got a little different balance to the core with, between the highs and the lows and the projection. But, the articulation, the response, the playability between both of these mutes is fantastic. So if you've got one, you should pick up the other if you're looking for a different sound, a different color. And one thing I will mention about both of these mutes, for me, one thing that I had to get used to was actually not blowing too much. I was overblowing both of these mutes, particularly in the lower register, the low A's, A flat, G, F sharp. But once I was able to kind of back off a little bit, I was like, oh, wow, that's where the notes are. So, sometimes you're playing these mutes and you're like, man, that's not really working. And, you may need to approach it a little bit differently. Some of my Harmon mutes, you can really lean into them. Some of them you have to lean into. Some, they don't like being leaned into that much. And that's with all types of mutes. So, it's the same with horns and mouthpieces. Every single one has got its own character. And, for me, backing off, it just made it feel even more open and easier to play. And that is a great thing about both of these mutes. They are easy to play and they don't wear you out. And you know what? Neither one of these really weighs that much. And the foam, I really am a big fan of the foam. It sticks in the bell. It doesn't fall out. It really goes in there very well. So overall, I am a very big fan of both of these mutes, and I think it's just terrific that Soulo now has two different options for these Harmon style mutes. All right, that's all I've got for you today. If you are watching this video as a live premiere, stick around my channel for just a minute. As soon as this video ends, I am going live. I'm going to be answering your questions and demoing these mutes even more. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.